So we'll just be waiting a couple more minutes for Councillor Buller to arrive, and then we'll start the meeting.
Okay, sorry. Oh, yeah, whatever. Sure.
Yeah, welcome.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Yeah.
Yeah.
My camera isn't working for some reason. I think I need to restart, but it's probably better.
I can see the door. So whoever's camera that is, just turn it around.
That's Trisha's.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get to see Trish.
Yeah. You
Somebody's
can see Trish.
going to join me on this video chat.
Yeah. Okay, and I'll put this back. So like this. Okay, well, welcome everybody. It is 7:02, and I will call this meeting to order. To begin, I'd like to start that the Village of Slocan acknowledges and respects the Indigenous peoples on whose traditional land and territory we stand. Motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Councillor Van Bynen, seconded Councillor Perrier. All in favor? That motion passes. We have the minutes from the regular meeting of December 9th and the committee of the whole meeting January 6th. Motion to adopt. Moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Buller.
Bully.
Got me twice tonight.
Guys, I did not sleep last night, so. So Bully Buller. Any errors or omissions aside from my pronunciation of Councillor Buller? All in favor? That motion passes. So first up, we have our audience with council. So welcome Joanne, and she's here to present on the Community Resilience Theatre Project. So welcome.
Just briefly, so we've been writing fire stories and we're collecting them into an extravaganza, including videos, photographs, whatever people want to do, songs, and making a production out of it for the end of March.
Okay.
And Val of Shakespeare on the Shore fame is putting this extravaganza together. So, and I'm helping curate the stories that are coming up. So I'm doing a little workshop in the library on Wednesday from 6 till 7 for people who want to get started. And then we're gonna meet this Wednesday and then the following Wednesday to see what people have come up with. And also the little poster thing is going out in the newsletter. I don't know if it'll be on time, but at least we'll advertise the event coming up at the end of March.
Okay.
So funding's all in place. We're ready to go. So it's for sure going to happen. Nice.
Okay, excellent. So because I didn't sleep last night, my brain is very slow. So you said there's 3, so this Wednesday there's something
This Wednesday from 6 till 7, I'm going to be going like, do we want to write your fire story? Here's some ways you could get started.
Okay.
And then people will have like a week to do whatever they want to write something.
Okay.
And come back the following week and we can talk about it.
Okay.
But people don't need to come to the workshop to submit something. They can just submit directly as well. I'm just doing this as a butt kicker thing.
Yeah, excellent. And then in March, that will be just a showcase of all of the sharing of the stories.
Theatrical production with people reading, and videos and live music, and it'll be like an hour and a half thing or however long it turns into. And the Silverton Home for two days. 2 nights.
That's 15 and 14.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
March 13 and 14.
Yeah.
So it's coming up pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bada boo, bada bing. Okay, excellent. Any questions for Joanne?
Okay.
No, well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Okay.
Do we receive that or receive the
We usually don't, unless, yeah.
We just want to have a motion maybe to advertise on the newsletter about we don't need to, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I also did an interview Cliff. So I got his
Oh, okay.
story, the fire chief.
Oh, excellent.
So
Yeah,
super
excellent.
good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay, so moving along. We, next up is the RDCK Transit sales for 2024, and it's the year-end report. It looks like there were slightly fewer, revenue was slightly lower this year than last year, down 9%. From 2023, the total number of sales was $1,928.25. $192 went out in commission, and the rest was remitted to the RDCK.
So I
So,
will
yeah.
put the recommendation and the 2024 transit sale year-end report be received for information.
Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Van Bynen. All in favor? That motion passes. Next up, we have the building permits year-end report. So the village collected a total of $618.60 in revenue. A total of $6,186 was remitted to the RDCKO. Sorry, I clicked out. Any questions? Go ahead. Oh,
No,
no? Okay, I found it, yeah.
2024 building permit year-end report be received for information.
Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Buller. All in favor? That motion passes. All right, next up, we have the fitness center report. So at the end of each year, the CAO ensures that the expenses for the fitness center are charged out and that administration fees of 10% be credited to the village. This commission paid out, and commission is paid out to Mountain Valley Station, and they charge 10% fee. This policy was approved in 2010. So essentially, revenue for the fitness center in 2024 was $15,537. Less fees, materials, telephone charges, electrical, and janitorial. So the fitness center reserve is due $8,719.
Okay, I'll move the recommendation. 2024 Fitness Center year-end report be received for information and finalized entries be posted to Canvas.
Okay, moved by Councillor Van Bynen, seconded Councillor Buller. All in favor? That motion passes. So next up, we have the Community Wood Smoke Reduction Program. And so this is a partnership. We've been partnership with RDCK, and they're seeking confirmation that we are going to participate. In past years, we've agreed to provide a $100 rebate to a maximum of 3 wood stoves. And I think that's what we're proposing again this year. Would somebody like to move the motion?
That a letter be sent to RDCK confirming Slocan's participation to the 2025 Community Wood Smoke Reduction Program, and that the village contribute a $100 rebate for each stove exchange within the village of Slocan to a maximum of 3 participants in 2025 for a total of $300.
Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Van Bynen. All in favor? That motion passes. Okay, and there's a number of information items. Are there any that folks would like to pull to just discuss or to take action on?
I pull 7G, 7J, and 7N. If anybody else wants to take any of those, it's okay.
J
G, N.
and G. And N. Any others?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, I'm in slow motion. Sorry, I'm struggling. I just, again, just the board highlights of the RDCK board. So that's A is included as usual. And you can, our procedures bylaw was update or adopted, and the update, there's a link. Oh, actually, I don't know if it's a link directly or not, but if you wanted to read it. We did receive the RDCK housing needs report, and we've already discussed, or we received it here at our last council meeting, the report from the housing needs through the RDCK. So, yeah, and then we received the entire report at the regional district as well. So that was, I think, yeah, at our last council meeting, if you recall, that was a specific report to the village of Slocan. But there was also a larger, that was part of a larger report that included reports for Castle, Nacus, Salmo, and the RDCK. There were a lot, yeah. And I think, yeah, so just a reminder that this is online. The recording of the RDCK meeting is online as well. Okay, so G, BC assessment.
Yes,
Yeah.
it just was for the very reason BC assessment early notification letter will not be sent to property owner this year. It was because of the postal strike, probably. But if we could, on our newsletter, put the link to go. It's very easy. Once you are in there, you just basically type your, you don't need the road number, you just put your address in Slocan, and that brings that to you. So
It actually came in the mail today.
you received
got-
yours?
In the mail today.
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Forget it.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
I did not.
Yes, I
Okay.
got mine too.
Okay, let's not
Yeah.
worry about this.
Yeah. Um,
It's been very low too, very,
We have gone down.
everybody says.
yeah, ours rose the highest for a number of years, so the fact that it's settling is probably a good thing. And for our taxes in terms of regional district, if ours are rise lower than area H, then it's beneficial for us in terms of regional district taxation. So that's a good news story in that regard. Okay. N.
G.
Oh, G.
Yeah.
Jay.
J. J.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a French thing.
I'll learn.
Is she?
One
J.
day I'll learn. Actually. So this is a tasting after action review elected official and senior staff wildfire 224. So there is a session on January the 20th, a virtual Zoom meeting. I was wondering if anybody from here could attend. I mean, I know basically it was you and Michelle in charge of. I was too busy with other things and there was not much communication. So would you think it's of any interest to be able to attend that? And
Yeah, so I will be going on the 20th at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. I am so tired. I did not sleep last night. So is there interest? So did you want me to reach out to Dan? Is there interest from other counselors to attend?
I don't feel like I can attend in the sense like, they're asking, how things went. We stayed as myself, I stayed at the Citizen at this time. And I thought it would be the people who have, and when they talk about that, they said for elected official and senior staff. And it's just a curiosity to know if somebody can, if Michelle would have been here, she had worked on that. So that's all I'm asking.
I will say that I registered us. I was not there, but
Okay.
I can listen.
Yeah, and I will be attending.
Okay.
So if council reads through any of these and you have any key messaging that you want me to bring forward, if you can just send me a quick email or give me a call and we can have a quick conversation, so that I can make sure that council's viewpoints are shared as well. I'll collect those. Yeah. But it's next Monday, so if you can call or send an email by Sunday, that'll give me time to write down and process. And I will get a good night's sleep before next Monday. So actually it would be very appreciated if you have any thoughts coming out of that you'd like shared, please do. Please connect. And you're attending as well?
I was going to have interest, but I have nothing to participate. I will.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Anything else from the
Okay.
N? Okay, BC Water Meter Pilot Program. Ooh.
Never thought I would be the one doing this.
Yeah.
But there is the first question for you, Trish, and I'm not sure we are meeting the criteria. Do we have 300 connection in our water system?
Oh.
Or do we have 298? With the outside of our area. I'm just
I don't
wondering.
know, I have 196 in my head, but
Yeah,
I don't-
that's what I
yeah, I
thought,
think we might
because-
be under 300. However, it's, yeah,
And because there is an application, January 30th, and I thought if it's a pilot project, maybe we could have a few meters, and especially when, I was looking at the report from Public Works and they're really trying to, locate the leaks. That would be a tool to help, not in itself, like the meter would actually give an awareness, but on our infrastructure, that would help us too. So the question is, are we 300, which I doubt.
yeah, I doubt, but if we were, so it's an expression of interest.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't actually even be an application for, or it does say application, but yeah, so first step would be to find out if we have 300. I don't think we do,
And
but
then-
I don't know.
Yeah, I
for
like
sure.
the
Yeah.
fact that saying funding may be used to cover up to 100% of eligible costs. So that was another thing we, as a small community, we kind of like.
Yeah. So if, so did you want to direct staff to investigate the number
Yes.
of connections? And
I
if,
get
if
that, yeah.
over 300, consult with, Public Works and our engineering firm that we've worked with on potential pilot program, water meeting pilot? Did you capture that? Does that capture what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just,
Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Van Bynen. And just a comment, like if there were just going to be a selection of meters, definitely it would make sense out of those to have at least a couple on the west side where it's outside of our boundary. All in favor? Any opposition? Hearing none, that motion passes.
so motion to receive the information items.
Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Van Bynen to receive. All in favor? That motion passes. Okay, so moving along. CAO report. Trish.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. We had a lovely holiday here in Slocan. It was great. Public Works did work the Mondays. Garbage got picked up. I wish to really thank Nicole Laframboise for, I think it was 12 years of service, and she worked right up till January 6th and helped us roll over to the year end, and we wish her all the best. We also welcomed Cody Grenier to the Public Works in an auxiliary position for 2025. I attended a number of meetings. One was the MOTT, which is the new acronym for Ministry of Transportation and Transit, which I quite like, over infrastructure. And I did print out some information. You only got it in black and white.
Color coded.
Color coded, just their summer classification of roads and
Yeah.
their winter classification. And that was really good to hear from them. And the mayor was with me at that meeting as well. We the regional and local community needs report was completed. I attended a next generation 911 requirement update that we need to update our sort of mapping and house numbers, etc. by 2027, and that's all for 911 purposes. And then the other exciting news is that we should have a doctor in Slocan 1 day a week. I think we're looking at Tuesdays. I can't remember exactly which day, but anyway, we're working on a lease, and by the end soon, we should be having an IHA doctor attending an office here at our wellness center. And then the project coordinator, she's been working diligently. Our generator project complete and put to the test because we had some power outage over Christmas, as you all know, and office was running.
Sorry to interrupt, but I was here one day when the power was going off and on, and it would kick in and then kick, so it works. Yay!
It was really
Yeah.
We want.
Yeah.
the Hume Herald Housing Project, that was another fun day of getting lease signed.
Back alleys, yeah.
Back alleys, yes. Because again, it was a snowstorm and you needed to have your signatures witnessed. And it was fun. But that's all ready to go. The court lighting, the delivery of those poles, apparently they're on some truck as of today. Now, when that truck gets here, but there's 4 poles, and so the court lighting is really coming along and almost complete. The expo field, we're looking at an RFP. We got it already. We're gonna issue that this week, the RFP, and have the closing date in a month. So should be happy, and with the plan of having a field all ready in spring. Yes.
On an RFP, are you putting some dates of completion and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be done. I can't exactly remember.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It was in May. We do recognize that, you need time for getting the grass in place and all that. So we may not have it ready for actual use this summer, but at least it'll be in the ground. The breakwater, we're just in development on next steps, and we've got some quotes. Herald Street design, we're looking at that scope and getting an RFP out soon. It's kind of the next steps. Our accessibility grant complete. We got it extended. Okay. To 2025, but I think there's just a few pieces left. I guess
What would we have left? We don't?
Yeah, it was the grab bar. It says the toilet was installed. I guess the grab bars haven't been installed yet. There was very little left on that, but we did get the grant extended. And the RFP mill site communication, as we know, we've kicked off. There you go. That's, I think, all for now.
Excellent. Thank you, Tish. I did want to speak just briefly on the Herald Street design project. So in terms of scoping, I did have a conversation with Nicole a while back now. And so I guess the grant application that we did was just for the one side on the one block. So and there's been some conversations about potentially the impact to businesses. And I think Councillor Knott mentioned it as well, it will have an impact. So she's just looking at scoping the full block in terms, because a lot of the costs are mobilizing and demobilizing. So I think that will come back to council surrounding budget, but she just needs to do more research on that piece. So we did get the grant of 888,000 or something like that. But she's doing more groundwork just to make sure that that we have a solid plan moving forward. So we'll come back to council first. Councillor Perrier.
So it means you will come back with some new plans, but for the whole project?
Yeah, I've asked her to look at that because it makes sense. I didn't realize it was only for one side of Harold Street that we put in as well. And it just, yeah, so she's looking at to get that one block completed, what are the costs associated with it so that it could be, yeah, so she has to do a little bit more groundwork.
Yeah, and we had a couple of hesitation about the way where things were placed. Remember, like the removal of snow, all those practical kind of things. So we want to make sure if we have paths or whatever, they can be cleared very easily. And so I'm really hoping we'll get a new design with whatever comment we did.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting a new design because we had the concept design and then the detailed design plan completed. So, but there might be some slight alterations that we can do. Because we'd have to start off from square one for a brand new design. But she's looking at it, and so that scoping piece, it will come back to council before it goes out to our FP, and I think it will need to for budget purposes as well. So I'm glad she's working. Go ahead, Councillor Bowler, and thanks for speaking up because I didn't see you. Go ahead.
I was just curious, is there any way to sort of upscale our grant monies through CBT of any, maybe they would help us be able to realize that completion project a little bit quicker if we realized that we were under budget with doing only half and then needing to do full, if we could get some fast track help from them maybe, or is that not really what they do?
I don't know. It's worth a question and a conversation. I think if we just get clarity on the scope and the numbers and where we're short, it wouldn't hurt to ask. At one point, they did place the grant funding that we did for the waterfront was through CBT for place-based development. It's not the right term. So I think it's a great idea. Once we get all of the information in, is likely worth a conversation with CBT. Okay, any other questions or comments on CAO report? Motion to receive, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Van Bynen. All in favor? That motion passes. Okay, and then we have Public Works summary. Do we need to read it out, or does anyone know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it all.
Yeah. Okay, so I won't read through it. Go ahead. Any questions or?
I have a question. It's more like wanting the CEO to talk to Public Works. I walk around and I see our brand new crossing have been chipped already of the paint. In some places it's because there's a crack in the basement, but in the pavement, but that's different. But in some corner, the machine went and kind of scrape that. So if they can pay attention, because we paid a lot of money in order not to have to repaint them every year.
We're talking about crosswalks.
Yeah, the crosswalks.
And if they kind of lift the blade a little bit at that point, that would give them maybe a longer lifespan. And just because I was walking and I could see it, in the corner. So I just wanted to mention that. I really appreciate if they see it.
Okay. So friendly direction through the CAO
Yeah.
to Public Works. And yeah, I noticed that we're getting more potholes too, but I appreciate the signs out there warning folks, and it looks like they're planning the patches, but dry weather is helpful
Yeah.
for that piece.
And I really feel like when we arrive at the store, there is a sign, but if that could be some kind of priority for this point to have the dry well, who is supposed to be,
The water
placed-
drainage.
The water drainage. So that would be nice because we have
Yeah, it's kitty corner
Huge
from the
amount.
store.
it's just that lot we are leasing to the Grizz this
Oh,
summer. You see, there's a huge puddle.
Okay, motion to receive. Moved by Councillor Van Bynen, seconded Councillor Perrier. All in favor? That motion passes. Okay, moving along. Bylaws.
Okay.
Woo.
Wait a minute.
Okay. 9A, fees and charges.
Can we-
So we've gone through this all last month, and so we just need to adopt. Moved by Councillor Perrier
We passed.
and seconded Councillor Van Bynen. All in favor? Okay, no opposition. That motion passes. Okay, and then zoning bylaw. So this is for the property on 720 Harold Street. And the request was to zone it from residential to commercial. And essentially public hearings may be required before adopting any OCP or zoning bylaw or bylaw amendments. This zoning does fall within the OCP. However, so we could waive it. So it's up to council if we waive it. Although I think traditionally we've held public hearings just for maximum transparency and for to give the public.
I will note that
Yeah.
when you waive the public hearing, you still need to put notice that you're waiving the public hearing, so.
Yeah, there is still due process. Yeah. In general, we've tended to just hold the public hearing, and if it's not contentious, then typically they're pretty quick. And
It would be in that, I mean, thank you for
Yes.
putting the maps. It's really good to have that. While I was looking, there is the post office, there's the church cross, there's, the restaurant, there's not. But if we feel like we want to be totally transparent, maybe at the next council meeting, it can be
a short public hearing and
set up whatever feels right.
Mhm.
But I would really, and next there is the wellness center, so there is a lot of different public places.
Mhm. Yeah, go ahead.
There's only two houses on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
all the way.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, it is in the commercial core.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I hearing that there folks would be interested in waiving it and then
I would.
just posting? Okay, thoughts? Councillor Buller, do you have thoughts on that?
I'm more with you, Jess. I think going with it's easy to have a simple meeting, but
Well, let's have a meeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Schedule with a regular meeting.
it just, I don't think, even though we know it's going to be easy, it's not, what we usually do. So let's just do what we normally do, and then nobody says anything, and we feel like we've done our due diligence, and that's just the way we work in Slocan. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Yeah, Okay.
Okay, I will recommend that council introduce and give first and second reading to the Village of Slocan zoning amendment bylaw number 2025.
Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor
Yep,
Van
second.
Bynen. Okay, all in favor? That motion passes. And then motion that council schedule a public hearing concerning the zoning amendment bylaw on, should it be our next council meeting day
Yeah.
at 6:30?
Absolutely.
February 10th.
February 10th.
February 10th at 6:30 PM. Would someone like to move that?
I'll
Councillor,
move it.
moved by Councillor Buller, seconded Councillor Perrier. All in favor? Okay, seeing no opposition, that motion passes. So we don't have any late items. Just noting the items that were brought forward from in camera surrounding the community communications coordinator and the graphic design contracts. So we've engaged ARC Engagement and Design Farm Inc. Councilor reports.
I have no council report at this time.
Okay, nothing from Councilor Van Bynen. Councilor Buller?
Yep. So there was a West Resource Recovery Committee meeting on January 7th, and Walter Popoff was acclaimed as chair for 2025. We revisited the efficiency study brought on to consider the closure of Winlaw, which was in our area. And so it is one of the more expensive recycling stations. The cost per ton and the operations are extremely high, and it's also within 30 kilometers from two other recycling depots. And so if it was to be closed, it would save $33,000 in the budget. And there was also some studies done on how often it's being used and things of that nature. And it's kind of comes down that there's maybe 10 users on any given open day, which is pretty limited. So the committee then approved the recommendations brought forward from the joint resource meeting to close Winlaw Recycling Depot. So that will be going forward in the future. And then we also talked some draft budget stuff for the upcoming year, which most of us already know about, the 10% tipping fees and 8% increasing over the municipal fees for charges over the next 5-year period. Basically looking forward to creating reserves in 28 and 27 and 28 for some big capital expenditures expected in that time period. And so we revisited S188, which is Rest Resource Recovery, A118, which is the recycling budget, and A120, which is the compost budget, and just approved the preliminary budgets for that. And there's another resource recovery meeting coming up, I guess, on Wednesday for a joint meeting. And that's all for now. Oh, and I guess as far as the fitness committee, was there any chance, Trish, did you end up getting any? I never got back to you, but I noticed in that report that we have today, there's most of those questions that they were asking about what the charges were, shared fees and things like that with the rest of the building. Maybe we could just present that to, maybe email that out to Cliff, I think, and maybe Linda. And then they can distribute that around to the other committee members. And I think that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Buller. So was there anything that came up? So the recommendation from committee was to close the Winlaw recycling.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, the cost and the usage is way out of proportion to any other depot in our area.
Yeah. And then, so just a bit of a backgrounder, when we moved into Recycle BC, there was a certain number of, it was a producer pay model, and there were a certain number of core depots that were paid through the Recycle BC program. If we had only gone with those core depots, it would have cut, or like there would have been a lot of reduction in the service. And so there were, I think at that time we agreed to keep things moving forward, but with a review to make sure that they were at least cost effective. And I think since then there's been recommendation to close Silverton because there's one in New Denver, one on the North Shore just recently, and so it sounds like Winlaw as well, where it's just
I believe Ryandale maybe or something like that too.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan. Okay, Riandale or Ryandale? I never know. Yeah. So I guess that will be communicated out via the RDCK. Okay, thank you. So did we do a motion to receive?
No.
Okay, motion to receive. Moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Van Bynen. All in favor? That motion passes. I did not prepare a written report this time. I may circle back and provide a written report. Aside from the board meeting with the board highlights, I did attend West Transit Committee meeting just last Friday. And so the RDCK did hire a consultant to look at our transit system to try to gauge values, and then looking at the future of our transit system and how we pay it. The apportionment right now of it's a super complex system and how we pay. I've flagged consistently that, and I think I've brought it back here, that Slocan, our rates are a heck of a lot higher than they should be per thousand in comparison to Area H. It makes no sense. And the only thing that we can narrow it down to is that when the mill did close, because it's based on a percentage rate for the one transit, I think it's the 20 or one transit service. We're all paying into like 3 different transit services. But we're at a set percentage rate, and I think that sort of has come down onto the residents. So I've flagged that. I think we've consistently passed it. It is an expensive service, but we've generally supported the service. And so there's just conversations about, and there's been concerns around the board expressed about how we pay for our transit service and what's it going to look like. So I will share the report for folks. And if you have any ideas or thoughts coming out of the report, we had conversation. We didn't make any decisions. So yeah. But yeah, just flagging because it is on the table. And that was on Friday, and that's all I have right now, and I apologize. I didn't write things. Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Van Bynen. All in favor? That motion passes. Okay. So we have the RDCK Emergency Preparedness Committee notes, October 30th.
Yeah, it's a while ago.
Yeah. And this is,
So our fire chief was present again.
Yeah. Why can't I find it? Sorry. Murphy's Law.
Committees.
I think it's under committee reports, isn't it?
I've just got it open now. So any comments? I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. So this is one, it's a committee that I think I have not been looped into for a significant amount of time. Or I think I went to one recently and then asked them to loop me in, but I think it's supposed to be staff. But I'll circle back to it because I actually thought that they were potentially not going to move forward with it, but I will circle back. So just processing out loud. Motion to receive for information, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Buller. All in favor? That motion passes. Okay, public participation. So we do have Karen, Karen online. Are you, did you have anything you wanted to bring forward or just attending? Yeah, not hearing anything. Joanne? Anything additional? Nothing? Okay, it's a quiet evening. Thank you so much, Councillor Buller, for remoting in. And we just need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Van Bynen. Thank you.
It's 5 days.
I know.
Yay.
Yeah, excellent. All right, thanks.
Everybody.
Yeah, thanks
I
everyone.
hope everything goes well for you.
Yeah, for sure.
My mom, so I'm here because my mom broke her hip and she got surgery yesterday. She's out of the hospital already. It's insane.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
So we'll be back in no time. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's great news. Yeah, excellent. Okay, thanks so much, Ezra.
Take care.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Talk to you soon. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.